Hello, this is Calvin Idle. Welcome to the Lavender Table, a web-based talk show for and about the LGBT community. And now, let's keep the conversation going with your host, Gary Elgin.
Hello and welcome to the Lavender Table. I'm here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I'm talking with Jim Samples, the founder of Chattanooga Cares, the organization that attempts to serve people infected by and affected with HIV and AIDS. Jim, welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Please tell us a little bit about Chattanooga Cares. You are the founder, yes?
Yes.
How did it begin?
Well, Chattanooga Cares is 27 years old. I actually got involved in the community, the gay community, Chattanooga Cares, because I had friends that were dying, and we started out of our church at that time an organization in Chattanooga that's called the Community Kitchen, where we fed homeless, and I worked at the Community Kitchen as a volunteer, and then I became assistant director there with in charge of volunteers. I started noticing a lot of guys having problems. They were swapping needles, they were doing drugs, they were drinking, they would trade liquor for sex, unprotected sex. Of course, now this was in the 80s, so I kept thinking a lot about it, and I heard about Nashville Cares, and had decided to investigate that. And there was several other people that I had talked to, and at that time we were trying to get something where we could actually educate the community. Education was the thing that we had to do at that time because nobody knew anything about HIV/AIDS. I mean, it just was, it wasn't taught, and it was, those queers, for a better word, I don't like the word, in LA, San Francisco, are all infected with this gay disease. It was known, as you well know, as the gay disease. Well, I was trying to help some friends of mine that had moved to California at that time and had come home to die. Because
Give us the year that we're talking about.
We're talking, this is 84, 85. They had come home to die because at that time it was a death sentence, and their family was just having nothing to do with them. They were put in a room. They weren't allowed to come out and mix with the family. They were drinking out of paper cups. They were eating off of paper plates because they had separate bathrooms. Mother went in and completely cleaned the bathroom after the person was there, because nobody was educated on it. We were all scared, as well as myself at that time, because not knowing anything about it. Well, I decided to educate myself. So I would go up on weekends and worked with Nashville Cares. Finally came back to Chattanooga and we had a group. We actually met in Erlanger, and we started a group. Several friends, and during that time we had nowhere to meet, so we met at the Community Kitchen. They had a boardroom, and me being involved there, we were welcome there, and I'm an Episcopalian, and Christ Church is a very gay-friendly church here in Chattanooga, and we were okay to use the parish hall there. So that's where we had our board meetings, and I, not only the founder, I became the first executive director of Chattanooga Cares, of course at no pay. We had no money at that time. So Chattanooga is very blessed to have some wonderful foundations here. And I was fortunate to know some of those people. So I went to one of the big foundations here, which is the Lyndhurst Foundation, and I knew the director at that time. And I asked for a grant just to some startup money. And he said, Jim, as you well know, they considered it a medical problem at that time, and we don't give grants to medical. But since I know you and know who you are and know what you're trying to do, I'm going to give you $1,200
Personally?
to start up.
Yeah.
And that was I rented a space and put a phone in. And that's where we started from. My mother died when I was 4 years old. I was raised by my grandparents and had a grandmother that you gave back. That's what I was taught. You gave back. And that's what I've always tried to do. It doesn't always mean money. It means your time and effort. And a smile, a handout, a hand up is, more to me than somebody handed me a $100 bill and say, go do this. Because a pat on the back, a hug, anything like that. And at that time, nobody would even talk to a person that they thought had AIDS. At that time, there was no one that would offer any help. And we had to take them to Erlanger because Erlanger is the county hospital. And no nurses or no one would help them there, and they had to have x-rays. I had a friend in x-ray that said, I will be more than happy to x-ray anyone you come over here, bring over here, and we'll work with them. Well, we started a little more and a little more. People got a little more open with us. And we started getting a little more in the community. We started out with a $1,200 gift, and we now run a $1 million organization. And we have a clinic where you don't have to be HIV, you don't have to have AIDS. Anyone that wants to can come there. We treat anyone, gay, straight, it doesn't make any difference, color skin. You just come there and we're more than glad to help you. We also have a program where we help with rent. We help them buy food. We also pay for their medicines. And we have counseling, peer counseling, all of the above. But it's just really turned into a wonderful organization. And we've had a lot of wonderful help from, as you spoke to earlier, some friends of mine, Chuck and Mario. We've had a lot of help from those kind of people that the organizations they run give to Chattanooga Cares. And we have a sort of dining out every year. We've now changed it to Cares Bite. And they bring their whole club to the restaurant that I'm always hosting. We usually have 15 to 16 different restaurants in Chattanooga to host. But Mario and Chuck always comes to my restaurant, and they have a table full. And we try to pack it out, and they have been wonderful about that. And another organization we have in Chattanooga who is very supportive of Chattanooga Cares is Southern Country. And over time, they have given over $500,000 to Chattanooga Cares and support Chattanooga Cares in every way, especially when we have our walk every year in March. We have the Strides of March. We have a program where we have Christmas every year for our clients that their children probably wouldn't get a gift. And Alagos is very supportive in that. And Images is very supportive in helping us, with different things. And performers, they have performers there, and they have been supportive of Chuck coming to Pride and performing and doing different things. But they all three do let us go in and do tests, which is a wonderful thing. And the test now is not like you and I had to have years ago, as we blood was drawn, and we waited 2 weeks, and if you got that phone call, the hell was scared out of you, excuse me. But now it's a swab in the mouth, and you know within 20 minutes. So, and we try to have a counselor at that time, along with the person giving the test, that if it comes back positive, that you can talk to somebody right then.
Do you find a disconnect in the youth, the club-going youth, between their lives, especially their lives in the club, and HIV and AIDS?
Very much so. I find the young people today have, in the gay community, have a lot of disrespect for the older person. They need to think, if it was not for that older person, they would not be in that bar, because there would not be a bar if it had not been somebody there to set the trail for them to come later. And I think the younger group thinks nothing's going to happen to them. They're going to do it. In fact, we have found in different things on the internet now where they actually have clubs set up that they want to give each other the bug. And that, to me, is just unbelievable, but it's there. And we, again, try to talk to the young people. We go in the schools. Chattanooga Cares goes in the schools. We go in the jails. We test people in jail, and we have a program that we try to, again, I go back to, it had to be education. You had to learn what was going on.
We'll have more with Jim Samples from Chattanooga Cares when we come back here on the Lavender Table.